I actually delivered a food to his house once when I was doing Postmates. That's right. It was a $10 salad or some kind of salad from a little place. The tip was fine, no judgment. But God, what a nightmare having people. He could tell I was starting to recognize him. I go up to his house. It's in a really fancy area. I honestly couldn't even find it if I tried to right now. I didn't remember any. And I found the door. It was always annoying having to find the fucking right house. And I could see in this like side part of the door. And this guy comes running around the corner and he runs up to his door. And like before he got to the door, I was like, that's fucking Matt Damen. But my brain is just going, I just need to get this fucking delivery and get going. And then as soon as like he opened the door and it was absolutely him. And I could tell that he's used to people recognizing him. This is where fame seems like a nightmare. And he kind of did this sort of awkward thing. It wasn't, he wasn't being awkward. It was just like, I was at his fucking house. You know what I mean? It's gotta be weird to be that famous and to like, it must feel a little threatening almost, like I would imagine. But like he kind of did say like, oh yeah, like he sort of like was about, because I think he could tell that I was like I was just sort of having a reflex. I was just like, I try to not acknowledge famous people. You see famous people in LA, they live here, they're around. And like Josh, I saw Josh Gad at Starbucks. I said, hey Josh, how's it going, man? You do a lot of Broadway, huh? Yeah, you think you're pretty talented? Well, I agree. We're pretty good. And I just act like they're fucking humans. I mean, and I didn't want Matt Damen to feel uncomfortable with picking up the salad. It didn't say Matt Damen on the delivery, or else I would have anticipated it. And but yeah, the way he sort of was like, oh yeah, like, not like he was being a jerk. He was more just like, oh yeah, hey, how are you? But like, I just gave him the bag and like he closed the door and that was it. Yeah, I didn't say anything about him being famous. I didn't want to be that guy. Where's Ben Affleck? Was he in there? What's the solution to that? You working on another math problem? The guy who only knows Matt Damen from Good Will Hunting. Did you ever get your shirt on when you walked away from having sex with Minnie Driver while you were putting on your shoes in the quad? What the fuck am I trying to talk about? So he's at Oppenheimer, and this is him talking. The tweet came to my attention, though. If you read the tweet here from Deadline Hollywood, Matt Damen at the Oppenheimer premiere says that the Hollywood labor strikes will be brutal for actors and his own production company, which has shut down one of his company's films. So just let that sit. That sounds like it's bad. It sounds like Matt Damen is coming on the side of the AMPTP. But let's listen to this because I'm not going to spoil it.
No, we Ben and I just started this little independent studio, and we're 3.5 movies in. We're shut down on one of them right now. We're just waiting for everything to resolve. So, and it's brutal for our sister unions. It's brutal for IATSE. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's going to be tough for the actor, for 160,000 actors. So nobody wants a work stoppage. But if our leadership is saying that the deal isn't fair, then we gotta hold strong till we get a deal that's fair for working actors. It's the difference between having health care and not for a lot of actors, and we got to do what's right by them.
Good for you.
Good for you. So he's supporting the fucking strike. The way they wrote this tweet very much indicates that they were trying to misconstrue his approach or what Matt Damen was saying. Here, let's click on the quote tweets. Matt. So I'm just going to read the first one. Matt Zoller Sites. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just taking randos here. This has 10,000 likes, so this one went around. Deadline, like most Hollywood trade publications, has a pro-management bias. You can see that reflected in tweets like this, which leave out the second half of Damon's quote, where he expresses solidarity with labor. Yeah, so that's some serious bullshit. Let's do one more. 54,000 likes, 8,000 retweets for Zach Silberberg supports the WGA. Okay, then he said, and I quote, if our leadership is saying that the deal isn't fair, then we got to hold strong until we get a deal that's fair for working actors. It's the difference between having health care and not for a lot of actors, and we got to do what's right by them. You already heard Matt Damen say that. One more here, 25,000 likes, 1,800 retweets. Irishman Carl, Born Posting, that's a good tweet. It's a good handle. Is that their word? And then he says they should hold out for a good deal despite that. Oh, Josh Olson. Actually, I like him. He's does a podcast with Dave Anthony, the West Wing thing, the audit currently. West Wing thing is over, although it's still worth a listen. He's a screenwriter. He wrote History of Violence. Really like Josh Olson. He's buddies with Dave Anthony. I actually talked to both of them once. I met Dave Anthony a couple times, once at Jimmy Dore's house and once at the Young Turks. I really like I like him as a dude. He's a leftist guy. He does a lot of good comedian shit. I appreciate his takes. He's funny when he's angry. And Josh Olson is also a dude who I like. But like, oh yeah, I called the Katie Halper call-in show once and talked to both of them. He wrote, in case you somehow believe that Deadline is an objective news source, watch the video and you hear what Damon actually says. Let's give him a like. All right, good. So, Deadline's lying, pretending Matt Damen. This is such nonsense, man. This is the institutional support. This is the kind of structural leverage that the bosses have over everybody. Is stuff like that. So